Hey everyone, hello and welcome back again, Tony Bing here. For this test centre video we will have a look at the changes to Kitty Pryde. Now again, like my previous video Luke Cage, I've not actually had a chance to look at Kitty yet since the biggest update ever, so what I'll do for the purpose of this video is just simply show off the skills that have changed. I'll have them all laid out on my hotbar and I'll run over them. Once we've done that, we'll then have a little look at the talents as well there, but here we go, we'll look at the skills first. The first skill we're looking at is a new one which has actually replaced an older one. This was non-corporeal beatdown. That's now been replaced by martial arts combo. Now I believe the old one had a movement tag and this new one doesn't. I don't know a lot more than that, other than people are looking to somehow get something with the movement tag restored. But next skill, and the following two skills actually, Logan style and also phasing samurai, they've now been returned to part of our default tree. Previously you had to select a talent to use them, so that definitely is a positive change. We then have quicksand. Now this no longer has a cooldown and it can be channeled for as long as you want as well, so let's just fire it off and show it. There we go. You're a bit of a sitting duck while you can use it, but you can certainly channel it however long you want now. And then the next skill we'll look at that's changed here is Heartbreaker, and I believe previously this had critical damage, but it's now changed in that the base damage on it has actually been increased there, and it has a power always deals a critical hit. Now with two skills I've already looked at, the Logan style and phasing samurai, Logan style's changed in regards to it no longer deals bonus damage to bleeding, which it used to do before, and with phasing samurai, vulnerability has been removed and the buff effect on it now applies to all melee powers, the 15% that you can see there. So from the skill side of things, not a huge amount has changed, but when we look at the talents, there's certainly a lot of changes there, and let's look at them now. Now with the talents here, from what I've read in the forums, the intention of changing them around was to provide a bit more flexibility actual build wise for her. Now because I've not spent a huge amount of time on her, it's not immediately apparent to me if the flexibility is actually there as a result of these talent changes. So if you're a Kitty Pryde fan, feel free to let me know in the comments below what you think, but what I'll do is just really run over the tooltips here and show them all off in detail for anyone that doesn't have access to the test centre. So first talent we look at, this is solo training. With this you send Lockheed away, preventing the use of all Lockheed powers, and Shadow and Flame consumes all Lockheed energy, increasing damage by 0.3% per point spent, and its buff effect now applies to all powers. We then have Constant Ambush, so martial arts combo gains the following effects, and that's that skill there. When you phase through your target and reappear behind them, causing your next hit to deal 100% additional damage and critically hit. Now when you activate this, as much as you're moving and phasing, it doesn't have the movement tag, so I'm curious to see whether or not that's a bug, and it should be there, because that would address a lot of people's concerns over their movement builds that are no longer viable, but we'll see what happens with that and how that plays out. Next talent in this line we have Flame Barrage, and there's a series of talents like this, and again, because I've not spent a lot of time on it, it's not immediately obvious to me how this would work, but if you've really played Kitty a fair bit and you can figure out the intention of these particular talents, it's these four here, then do let me know. But this is Flame Barrage. The effects of the talent are doubled for 10 seconds when you used Phased Out, which is our signature. So Lockheed's Fire Spit gains the following effects: attack speed 100%, critical hit chance goes up by 50% there. Talent line 2 we have Brutal Combat, so Logan style deals 1% more damage per 1% of the target's missing health. Let's activate that. It's not actually updated on the tooltip, that's interesting, hopefully it still does work there. And then we have Heartbreaker, which always critically hits. Let's see if that actually changed. Heartbreaker is of course the one with the heart. Yeah, this power always deals a critical hit, you can see that there. But next talent we have Coordinated Attacks, so non-Lockheed powers deal 15% more damage against enemies affected by Lockheed damage over time effects. And then we have Dragonfire, so with this one again as mentioned, The effects are doubled when you use phased out, and Lockheed's fire spit projectiles explode, dealing damage to enemies in an area. And the passive effect is Spitball's damage goes up by 15% there. Talent line 3, we start off by looking at Phase Rush. So walking through walls gains the following effects. You add a dot, you restore Lockheed power, and you get an additional charge. And walking through walls is of course your dash move there, just to point that out. Next talent, Sword Wielder. So critical hit chance for sword powers up by 5%, sword power damage 5%, martial arts combo transforms into Discipline Strike. There we go, we can see that there. And with this, let's see, Quicksand transforms into Shadowcat's Pirouette, and Discipline Strike and Shadowcat's Pirouette are sword powers as well there. So final talent in this line, Augmented Flames, and the effects of the talent are doubled for 10 seconds when you use phased out, as the previous two talents above it. So turn up the heat, Spitballs and Dragon Breath have their area size increased by 50%, and Lockheed's energy cost reduction comes down by 10% there. Talent line 4, we start off by looking at Continuous Assault. So phased out, which is your signature, lasts longer, increasing the number of hits to 6. The next talent we look at is Heavy Impact, and with this, Quicksand gains the following effects: damage 75%, cooldown 8 seconds, and channel time of 2 seconds. That's restoring it how it was in live. You have the option of spamming it or making it a more hard hitting power. And then we have Tandem Strikes. This is the final skill that has the effects of the talent doubled when you use the signature. With this, it provides Lockheed power damage 20% and also energy regen of 25 per second there. But final talent line, we start off with Unseen Warrior, and just a phase duration increased to 8 seconds but no longer provides invulnerability, and you gain stealth and regenerate health while out of combat. And then we have Phased Insights. Activating Watch Your Step or Phasing Samurai increases critical damage by 40% for 5 seconds, and this stacks twice. And then the final talent we look at is Warrior of the Flock. So with this, the energy cost of the Lockheed buddy system comes down by 100%. Line of Fire is buffed, the actual cost increase goes up by 100%, damage goes up by 125%, brutal strike chance 100%, and cooldown goes up by 100% as well there. So as mentioned earlier in the video, I've not spent really any time, to be honest, on Kitty since the biggest update ever, so it's not immediately clear to me if there are new build options available as a result of these changes. So again, if you're a Kitty fan, let me know in the comments below what you think of these changes, and if you've got any builds in mind as a result of the talents and skills that I've shown off. But really, once more, thanks for tuning in for yet another test centre video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all again soon.